and girls, welcome to another episode of In the Eyes of Truth, the English edition. Today with me is a guest by the name of Rafael Ordihanyan. Rafael lived in the United States, I think, for 15 years, if I remember correctly. Almost 15 years. So he knows the U.S. pretty well also from the inside out. Went to university there also. Journalist. He's a political expert, and well,
Why, hello there. Come hither, boys and girls, and hear the magical tale of the magic monetary theory. That's right. You no longer have to worry about all the pesky gold and silver to buy what you want. Just print, print, print. And when Marco Polo traveled to ancient China in the 1200s, the Mongol Khans of China showed him their magic monetary theory, where they had pure fiat paper money, and they could just print whatever they needed for whatever they wanted to buy. But alas, even that story had a dark ending. For the magic monetary theory unleashed the twin beasts, the tidal wave of debt ridden by the beast of inflation. And when Marco Polo returned to China 20 years later, there were no Mongol Khans of China anymore. China had just gone through a vicious civil war that was sponsored by a total economic collapse. Let's fast forward 800 years. And the modern monetary theory is all the rage in the Western leadership. That's right, you no longer have to worry about debt. Debt no longer matters. No, just print, print, print all you need. But yet, the twin beasts are back. The tsunami of debt swallows up whole nations, causing defaults, causing collapses in currency, destroying people, destroying their lives. The beast of inflation swallows up your hard-earned wealth. The products that cost $126 back in 22 now cost well over $400 in 24. That's right, hyperinflation is here. What do you do to save your hard-earned wealth? Where do you go? You go to gold, not paper gold, physical gold. And you don't keep that gold in the United States, where in 1932 the government confiscated gold. It'll do it again. You don't keep it in Western Europe that's collapsing before our very eyes. Where do you go? What do? You come to exitstrategy.world, the company that's going to help you find the safe haven for your gold and your well-being. Exitstrategy.world, the saviors in this dark fairy tale.
tell the audience a little about yourself.
Just a good guy.
and he is a good guy. So yes.
Yes. So hi there. Yes, I spent like 14 years in the United States. Used to worked for the biggest Russian newspaper for 4 years. I was a correspondent there. Yes, definitely. I really admired. I just came back more than 10 years ago, back to Russia. And I brought all my memories from the United States. I really feel sorry what's going on right now there. So I graduated at Moscow University. I got my PhD in America. So thank you, America. Yes. And thank you for nothing. I got green card there. Unfortunately, I didn't use it. So I'm back right now here. And I'm trying my best to establish in these so difficult and notorious times just good relations between our countries, because Stas, I'm running a radio show. I call it Americs Lite, where I actually am describing and just giving information about another America, not political, no Bidens, not Trumps, yes, but Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Elvis Presley, Theodore Dreiser, yes, Alexander Bell. So I'm trying to keep this kind of, a very not so unfortunately dependable links between us, because I think so in the future politicians and politics, they come and go, but people, good relations, history, music stays, so hope sometime later stars will have better time and better opportunity to speak about Russian-American relationship.
And I've been a guest on Rafael's show,
Yes.
so far.
By the way, a lot of people calling back. So give me word, you'll be back sometime later.
Yeah. Hey, invite me. Tell me the date.
Anytime, my friend. Yes. I'm just planning right now in kind of summertime. Just Relaxing, yes. But it's September, yes.
Summertime.
Be ready, be ready.
So let's see, you came to the US in what, 99 or in 2000?
No, 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 92.
92. Oh,
92, yes, 92. Then visiting before, and then actually I stayed there because I had this opportunity. And I really appreciate because, 90s in Russia, that was just a mess.
oh yeah.
And I really enjoyed in 90s in America, the gasoline was 89 cents per gallon.
It used to be less
Yes,
than that.
yes, 4 days to Las Vegas from New York, $350, including airfare. Yes. So, by the way, being in Las Vegas at my third time, I witnessed actually Tupac Shakur, assassination. I
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
in, yes, not far from Circus Circus. We're just walking with my family, and I saw, police and this. I remember his BMW, and I thought it's kind of, movie shooting, something like this, because I saw a lot of before.
Right.
But then, no, it was for real.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, 92, I mean, the US was already kind of starting to change, but it was in very early stages. So the US that was in the 80s is one thing. In the 90s, it was still more or less the US. And since then, it's just become some mutant extra dimensional version of with a shadow of what it was. And I don't. I left in 2010, and my wife now thanks me daily that we left because of the insanity that's happened.
Everything changed in 2001 because I witnessed this terroristic act. I saw the second building fall. I saw
Mhm.
it because I used to live in New Jersey in East Brunswick. It's about 25 kilometers, 18 miles from there. And when I saw it, and I jumped in my car on New Jersey Turnpike, and I drew actually to the Liberty Park. It's just in front of Manhattan. And I saw it, I remember this, I still, not now, but it used to be maybe just for 10 years after, I was feeling this asbestos, smell.
Mhm.
I felt it. Yeah, being even in remote area, just maybe kilometer, maybe couple kilometers from the ground zero there, and I saw the second building. That just was a horrible experience for me. And I think it's, after that, actually America changed. I think,
Oh
yes,
yeah.
it was really changing. A lot of patriotism, of course, but a lot of bullshit in politics and everything. And we witnessed, and unfortunately, the attitude to immigrants was a little bit different. And that was kind of, alarming for me at that time when my neighbors started asking me, who are you? Living like 5, 6 years together. Who are you? What's your religion? And so far, being suspicious a little bit about all the things. Yes, it's understandable, So, but anyway, it wasn't so pleasant experience at that time.
Well, now that we're on that issue, let's remember that the first head of state that called George W. Bush Jr. and offered unlimited help was the man America's elite loves to hate the most, Vladimir Putin. And the first
Yeah,
person to put up a monument in New Jersey across the bay
yeah.
for the U.S. There was like 5 or 6 years before the U.S. ever got around to putting a monument to its own monument up was Russia on Russian money. And by the way, they took Putin's name down off that monument now as one of the sponsors, the guy that put the monument up to Americans killed.
Yeah, it's Stas, you're absolutely right because I think it was kind of missing opportunity. We had a real great opportunity to join our forces at that time against international terrorism, and but still there, I remember it was kind of double standards. It was our terrorists and your terrorists.
Hmm.
Your terrorists, they are terrorists. They kind of freedom fighters. That's the stuff. And this bullshit, unfortunately, was extrapolated on our relationships. And even I remember 2003, I think the Putin visit to the United States, it was very successful. I remember I met Rush Limbaugh at that time. And by the way, I prepared my PhD on Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity
Really?
materials. Yes, yes, yes. I met them. At that time, Sean Hannity was a youngster on public radio. He was actually co-hosting. It was Rush Limbaugh, 3 hours, and then it was Sean Hannity. They were one after another. and Sean Kennedy was kind of a student, a pupil for Rush Limbaugh. And Rush Limbaugh, he praised Putin, saying that he's for traditional values. And so it was kind of, stuff there. It was, I think, this a kind of chemistry between George Bush Jr. and Putin mostly was because of Rush Limbaugh, because Rush Limbaugh kind of said, okay, yeah, he is not maybe one of us, but he's, he's kind of in our agenda. Yes, he. Uh, right now it sounds ridiculous, yes, but at that time it was kind of. Listen, I remember George Bush Jr. saying, "Yeah, homosexuality is a sin. It's a sin."
Yeah,
Who dares now to say something like this? Yes. No, so a lot of changes and unfortunately not so good one.
yeah. People in Russia, when you tell them that, you say something like that in the blogosphere, or let alone somewhere in an office, and your career is over. Like, why don't Americans speak out? Because they will get wiped out. Their career's over. Their kids can get confiscated because they're not going to be able to support them, and nobody's going to.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, this was just ridiculous, and it was slowly but sure. Yes, and unfortunately, I wasn't mistaken because America changed real. Yes, and actually, on my radio, I am trying to bring this America which I saw. I can tell you a story, Stas, because one of my first visit, it was the beginning of the 90s. I wasn't planning actually to stay, but being in America, I got phone call from our patriarchy to accept the chamber choir from Moscow, just to help them, just to rent a minivan, to drive them. And we had like maybe 200 concerts from Montreal to Florida. Can you imagine?
Wait a second. Let me explain. When Rafael is talking about the patriarchy, he's talking about the church.
Yeah, the church,
The
yes. It
Orthodox
was
Church.
chamber choir, yes.
Right.
A cappella, 12 people, nice guys, called akafist. I still have, good, relationship with them. We're calling each other. But the point is that we actually had concerts everywhere. I mean, just everywhere, like from Montreal, everywhere. Yes, 100 cities, And I was a driver, I was a manager, I was a translator. So you can imagine kind of experience it was. Yes, it was really fun. Yes, and I remember our performance in Pennsylvania. It was one of the headquarters of Johnson Johnson. We had friends there, Russian people. They invited us. It was good support for our guys, because at that moment, let me remind you, beginning of the 90s, it was like $50. It was good salary in Russia. So these people for 2-3 months, they brought couple $3,000. It was pretty good each. Yes. So, and it was donations, of course, and we had understanding from Johnson Johnson company. And also I was selling kind of CDs and cassettes, with our Russian songs. And I remember leaving this place on the parking lot, these big parking lots, in front of headquarters, like hundreds cars there, empty, almost empty, because it was after 6 p.m. already. And I remember this we already packing everything to our minivan, and suddenly I saw a car approaching at high speed. And the guy actually, he just jump out there and saying, "Oh, you're from Russia, guys, and I'm so glad, that I caught you." And something like this. And it was time when it was difficult to get any foreign music in America, Russian, and there was no YouTube, no downloading, nothing. Yeah, if you want to get something Russian, you should go to New York or Washington D.C. or Los Angeles, big cities.
There were Russian stores in other cities.
And he said, "Please give me. Listen, I pay you money. Please give me a CD." And it was cassette also, tape record. It was so. Please give me. I really need it. And I was just wondering, because I was tired already, and I didn't think about this, just unpack everything back to give this 1-2 CDs. And he said, "You don't understand." I said, "Listen, maybe you're Russian. Maybe you got there." Okay, no, I'm Irish American. But we adopted a Russian boy from Russia with cerebral paralysis. This diagnosis. It's very
right.
And he said it's Kolinka. His name is Kolinka, and he said actually, I want it for him. I said, "I don't understand. You're not Russian, but you want how old is your guy?" and he is like 2 years old. I said, I don't understand why you need Russian music for this youngster. I mean, just it's a baby. Yes, but I want him to listen his music from his motherland from the very beginning. This is America, I remember, Stas. Guys had nothing to do with Russia, absolutely. But he wanted his son, adopted son from Russia, very, very ill, with a lot of problems. But he wanted him to listen his music from his homeland. He doesn't want him to forget this one. Yes, this America I remember. This America I remember, and I really cherish, and I really want to here in Russia to know this America. And unfortunately, we don't see it with all this political bullshit. Unfortunately, a real America not so visible right now. And I really feel sorry about this because I saw it. And this is very good for us. We are not enemies, we're friends. Why we behave like enemies? That's what I don't understand.
Well, because the elites are making money off of war, and they're willing
Yes,
to take everyone to
absolutely.
that war.
Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
Western elites have gone insane, absolutely insane.
And they just ready to sacrifice everybody, and doesn't matter, Americans, Russians, they don't care real money
No, they
first.
don't.
Yeah.
When they say when you have these financial elites that say I'm a citizen of the world, it means I don't give a damn about anybody but myself and my money. That's what they're really telling you.
Oh yes, but it's kind of goofy because they're losing money already. They are ready to sacrifice almost everything. No, I think it's very obvious for Europe. They're ready to pay double price for everything. Just not to have anything to do
Well,
with
wait a minute,
Russia.
wait a minute. You're gonna look at a slightly different angle there. In Europe, the elites are absolutely bought in the pocket of the U.S. They're controlled, they're absolutely owned, and they don't care because when they're done, they'll go to the U.S. or some think tank. They're rich,
Yeah,
paying double doesn't matter to them, and they've got a career plan. I mean, look,
absolutely.
Sunak has been rumored that he's already got a gig lined up in Washington at a think tank. The Prime
Yes, he
Minister of
has.
England is going to be an analyst or whatever in a think tank in Washington. That's got to
Yes,
be
but
out.
yeah, yes, this is actually ridiculous by itself. But speaking about this issue, I agree with you. But I remember times of Margaret Thatcher and
Oh yeah,
Francois Mitterrand
yeah,
and call these guys. I
yeah,
remember this pipeline problem. I remember it was from the very beginning. Reagan was very tough about this. But I remember Margaret Thatcher. She wasn't, our big fan of the Soviet Union. But she said, "Hey, Ronnie, stop. This is business." Yeah,
yep.
I'm not. I remember Brown Engineering, this company supplying this equipment for our pipelines, And she said, "Ronald, I respect you. We are friends forever, but please, this is our business." Francois Mitterrand, I remember him saying, "Yes, we hear our American friends, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to stay and obey." These was politicians, they were and excuse me, Reagan, this is not these goofy guys. Reagan was tough enough about this
Oh
one.
yeah.
And even against him, they could confront it because of the national interest.
Yes.
Where is it now? That's actually kind of strange for me.
I mean, come on. You've got okay. Let's look at Germany. You have Kohl, then you had Schroeder. Now you've got
Yeah,
degraded down to Scholz, the wet
that's it.
the
That's
wet wiener. I mean, a Ukrainian ambassador called him a wet winner roast, and he
you
wasn't
know
expelled. And sure,
absolutely.
and he just said nothing. I mean,
You,
my
you,
God.
you, I think that we don't have any politological explanation now. I think it's kind of, you may say it's already metaphysical and the psychiatrical approach here. And I think what we are dealing right now, Stas, it's kind of de-evolution already. It's not in political affairs, but mentally.
Hmm.
Look who is ruling right now. Look who is in charge right now. And by the way, I can tell you that it's not only in America or in Europe. I see some kind of symptoms also in Russia too. It's a problem. I mean, it's a real problem for all of us. I think that we experts, we should keep our eye on these guys because You know what they're trying to do right now, and it's just just unacceptable. I mean, just now, for 100%. I mean, what they're trying to do, because that's amazing. I mean, just look at these guys. Forget about America. It's easy target for me right now to say, but I'm going to say about Russia right now. I mean, these guys, they just really stupid. Stupid, just packing billions rubles in cash in their apartments during our time. I mean, this is just, you know, mentally absolutely unexplainable for me. Don't they understand that this is, they're gonna be after you, guy? Don't you see what's going on around? Yes, and speaking about other guys in Europe and in America, it's absolutely the same way. I mean, just I really, for example, I don't understand leaders of Moldavia, Baltic republics, Ukraine, Armenia. I just yesterday had an interview with Armenian main resource there. I just don't understand what the people trying to read, what they're trying to accomplish there. They're killing themselves. It's absolutely suicidal, policy.
Yes.
And the same with Europe. I mean, just look at Poland. Don't they think that? Listen, Finland, Sweden, Romania, guys, we will be after you one way or another. We will be back. I mean, just don't you think it's we were in Paris, we were in Berlin, we liberated Bucharest, so half the Europe, don't you think that we cannot repeat it again? And we will do this one way or another. And their kind of hope that American friend will help them. Come on, guys, come on. They're gonna say, Uncle Sam is gonna sell you for $2 if it's profitable, and that's what they're gonna do.
Well, with our, we've had, I think, 5 generals now arrested. Now that Belousov is
Yes, he's cleaning.
he's cleaning house fast. So there's going to be new
Absolutely.
blood coming in, and there's 5 generals were arrested for corruption. In fact,
Absolutely.
one general was arrested for corruption of Patriot Park. Him and the director.
That's how stupid it is. It's not about criminals. It's how stupid you are, guys. This is park. This is symbol. Putin said, "We're gonna take if it's something. We're gonna take it from your stomach." They didn't believe it. I mean, just I don't understand real.
Well,
face the consequences.
at least they're going to wind up in jail. If it was Stalin's time, they would have wound up against the wall already, and
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Fertilizer, and they deserve what they get. I mean, even if it wasn't wartime, stealing from national interest and national defense.
Absolutely, it's a treason. I think it's a treason, and you are general. It's so humiliated. And I just cannot. It's again, I don't understand. They're about 50, 60 in the end of their career, in the end of their life, to be so humiliated, to be so ashamed in the end of this. It's like killing yourself. What's gonna your grandchildren, children, what they gonna say about this? What they gonna say about you? I mean, just that's so stupid. Just that's my point. It's about, and this is about Stas. It's about, quality, personality. It's about quality of their person. They just trash. Absolutely and total trash.
But then look at the other side. We've had 4 generals and an admiral killed in combat. Officers who go to the front.
Absolutely.
America used to be like that, but now American generals sit with giant staffs in the rear and air conditioning and and good service. But Russia has fighting generals that go to the front. They're at they know what's going on, and they risk their lives. Flip side, you got guys sitting in cushy positions in procurement and areas like that. They're stealing. Well, now they're being arrested for stealing. Finally, thank God.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I think this is kind of, and this is the process. I think it's one way or another. We witness this process. Yes, it's kind of cleaning the society. It's beginning, and it's a kind of, appearing of a new elite, political elite and military elite. It's very tough process, but I see this one. I don't agree with a lot of things there, but I think that's what we need, we need self-cleaning this, because this is what's going on right now in. I'm not talking about financial structures like central bank, Ministry of Finance, and about that I am a professor in the university also, and I see a lot of my so-called colleagues. I mean, just also historians, and these guys, they lunatics. I mean, just they behave like nothing going on around them. Still liberals, still the tolerance, still kind of all this woke bullshit, which actually already spread it around the world, and we got a lot of people infected here, with this stuff, and unfortunately, they are teaching our students too.
Yeah.
And it's a tough job. It's a tough job, and I am so glad that I can see it from both sides, and paying my respect to the positivity. But from another, actually, I really want to America and the West to be more critical to them, because they are doing kind of, like I say, suicidal, things there. They just killing themselves. I mean, with all this woke culture, I mean, just this is not America. That's for sure. That's and
Well,
I got
it's
so
not the
many
America you
responses.
remember. It's the
Yes,
America where there is now.
yes, but I got still got my friends there, and they we calling. I invite most of them. They really consider to leave America. And I don't know, have you heard about this? But in California, I saw interesting figures. All people retired, most of them, they are moving to Mexico,
Yeah.
America.
Oh, yeah.
Moving to Mexico, Caribbean islands, Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, because they just cannot afford it, and they just don't want to be, anyway part of this America.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they say, and this is, and that's what's actually going on in America. It's kind of substitution. One people leaving America, good people, hardworking people, law-obeying people, and who is coming? Guess who? Yes,
The guys are going
is
to be
this is the plan?
Yeah, freeloading.
I feel sorry about it.
Well, it's not just America, though. I mean, it's all of
Yeah,
Europe. I used to work for an
absolutely.
Italian company, Italian EPC, engineering, procurement, construction company. And I remember I was sitting, and I was a director of procurement for projects. And we were sitting at dinner or at lunch with the leadership, and they're all complaining about all these immigrants in Italy. They're not learning Italian, they're just freeloading. I'm like, look, stop feeding them.
Yeah,
Make them work or leave, or they'll leave themselves. Oh, but
absolutely.
that's not humane.
Oh, really? No, this is kind of, absolutely. I don't know. It's kind of no. Let me put it, just not so noble approach. I mean, just absolutely different approach to the real values in this life.
Right.
Because I understand that a lot of things could be kind of emergency situation when you help people in other countries. You bring them. Yes, yes, we know about Holocaust. We know about how people try to save Jews, and was absolutely understandable. Yes, but right now, what's the point? People coming there, and they just coming for money. I mean, just that's what they
Yeah.
say. They don't care about your culture. They don't care about your traditions. Who cares about that?
Look,
Yes,
it'd be one thing if they were coming for the money to earn that money. They're going to start
yeah,
a business or they're going to work. Another thing when they're coming just to be leeches. Yeah, I'm here now,
yes,
pay me.
yes, yes. I heard actually a story about Afghan family. The guy came with his 6 wives,
Excellent.
and
Wait a
he
minute, that's
he
not even
gets
allowed in
like,
Islam, but I think it's
yes, more
four
than
wives.
200,000 euros a year. He got this. He got free apartments, everything free, and it was kind of, it was unfortunate for Germany. It was unacceptable to accept 6 wives, so they actually uh, wrote them down like daughters and nieces, and no, I mean, just this is hypocrisy, and
Oh,
double standards. I really,
absolutely.
that's what I don't understand. I mean, just
Wow.
I wish to see Adenauer and Kohl and Willy Brandt, these chancellors, to see the situation now. I think they could do something really, really fast
Oh,
and something there. Yes.
Willy Brandt was a man you didn't screw around with, and he told
Yes,
the U.S. where to
absolutely.
shove it when he needed to,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
he
no.
put
But this
Germany
is
back
gone.
on its feet. Well, West Germany, anyways.
Yes, yes. No, this is gone. I mean, real. No, it's, it's our great philosopher Gumilov, his passionate, about passionate nations right now. German used to be like this. Now they are not patient. And I think they are doomed to disappear, a lot
Yeah,
of them. Now Polish, they have more passionate approach, in their lives than all these guys around. Yes, and they just, they disappear. Their culture. Look at England. They woke up. Oh, this is bad things.
well,
What
it's
did
only a
they
small
do?
portion that woke up so far.
Yes, yes, yes. And this civilized nation. What they are trying to do? They are going to kill them.
Yeah.
Where is your tolerance, England? Where is
Well,
your patience? Where is your culture? Where is your traditions? No, just killing, and doesn't matter. Policeman, immigrant, non-immigrant, doesn't matter, and they
no.
respond the same way. Yeah,
I'll tell you this, not to saber rattle, but realistically speaking, about Germany disappearing. If Germany joins up and in a European war against Russia, the chapter of the German state is over. If we have to take
yeah,
Berlin for a fourth time in 300 years, I mean, for those Americans and others that don't realize this, Russia has conquered Berlin 3 times in 300 years. If there's a fourth time within those 300, we ain't giving it back. We shouldn't have given it back
absolutely,
last time. It's
absolutely,
part of Russia, and Western Prussia is going to become Western Russia. So
absolutely.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
No, that's what they don't understand. I mean, it's kind of funny for me listening to them. They want to move our tanks, T-34, famous, from the Treptow Park in Berlin. I don't mind. Yes, I think it's time to switch them to T-90, our new tanks and Armata. It's about time. It's about time. They kind of get used already. They got used already to this one. Okay, let's change the picture for them because these guys, they're lunatics, with this bareback button jumper, so they stupid. And these people, they just don't understand with whom they are dealing. They don't understand listen, you cannot win it. I mean, just this is
Yeah,
absolutely unwinnable situation. And it's not because we want, I want, it doesn't matter right now. You know, Russia does not give up. This is the key.
yeah.
I remember dealing with. I remember in Washington, it was 10 years ago. We were discussing Leningrad blockade with guy. He was kind of analyst, used to work for CIA. So it was nice discussion there. And he said, "I don't understand. Why didn't you give up Leningrad? Million people died there." I said, "Listen, I cannot explain. I mean, really, if you don't understand this, it means you understand nothing about Russia. Doesn't matter. I mean, just take a look, Stas. We got our two absolutely amazing, glorious victories in our history, Russian history. It was Napoleon when we broke them, and Hitler. And
Oh,
imagine
we got
for a
more than
second,
that.
it was 1812. It was actually this крепостное право, almost slavery.
Well,
And
no, it
the
wasn't
guys
slavery.
there,
It served them. Serfdom.
no, almost. I mean, just yes, it was just when the peasants, they were owned by the barin, by the master. But my point, it's not the same. The point is that these people, they were exploited. They were just really in bad situation. And Napoleon thought that I'm gonna come, I'm gonna give them constitution, and Russian people, they are going to fight for me. No, these people actually, yes, they destroyed you, even being in such a bad conditions, and even didn't feel well and love to the body, to masters. And the same story after Stalin, after repressions, after 1937, yes, when a lot of people were repressed, it was in Gulag there, and still people actually, they didn't care about Stalin. They were fighting for homeland, and they never actually they always distinguish between politicians and homeland, motherland.
Of
And
course.
that's actually in our memory, in our roots, in our genes actually. And for Germans and for other guys, it's not the same. Why should I? Why should I do this? Why should I do that? Look at the French, civilized nation. 2 weeks, lay down. 2 weeks, 1940. They were done already. It's amazingly, but French actually stood less time than famous Pavlov house in Stalingrad.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the reality what we have. Because French, they did not care about their homeland. They cared about wine, cognacs, and my favorite. I like Charles Aznavour. He was Armenian too, and I love this guy. But I remember his diaries, 1943. Oh, no concerts, less money, nothing. So I cannot afford wine, I can afford this. Different wars, 1943. Can you imagine Kursk, Stalingrad? It was different wars for France, even for best people, there. It was absolutely different,
Wait a minute, Rafael. Sorry for my French audience, but I'm going to have to drop a little truth bomb there. More Frenchmen died fighting us on the Eastern Front than ever served in the underground, the resistance.
Absolutely.
The Charlemagne division, which was down to a battalion, fought their way into Berlin to defend Hitler. The SS Charlemagne division.
Absolutely. Among them, they were
Nobody wants to
fighting
talk
against.
about that.
Yes, and of course, saying this, we really praise our brothers, Normandy Neman, actually. The unit, the pilots, they were fighting with us against Nazis. Called Normandy Neman, unit. So, and definitely we give them credit for this one there. But this, I'm talking mostly about political approach here. It's another problem. That means that these people nowadays, these politicians, they really don't remember history. They don't know this, and this is really shame.
Right. It's not they don't remember; they just don't know it.
No, yes, they don't know, and yes, maybe maybe they just really they don't want to know this one.
Right.
Yes, they think it's just look what's going on right now. Everywhere. They don't appreciate already that we liberated Prague, Berlin, Warsaw, Bucharest, Sofia. No, Belgrade, Serbians guys, they do appreciate it, there, and they really don't. Vienna, Austria, we liberated Vienna. Who knows about this now? Yes, and who knows that in 1946 we sent bread to France? When we were so hungry, it was shortage of everything, but we helped them there. Nobody remembers this, and nobody wants to know about this.
1946, Stalin signed an order and sent 120,000 heads of cattle to Poland.
Yes.
Russia didn't have enough food, and they to reinstate the Polish cattle herds that were gone because the Germans took them.
Yes.
No, it's a lot of things for that.
Yes, no, not now, not now. Yes, and it's absolutely like different country. We don't expect them to. To say thank you all the time. But definitely we didn't expect that they are going to blame us for what? For occupation. So it means that we liberated Poland from the east, sorry Poland, but on the way to Berlin we have to go through Poland. We cannot walk by the Baltic Sea surface. Yes, and we liberated Warsaw, and your grandparents they did appreciate it. Yes, not you right now, but no, what can we do? Learn on our mistakes. Sometimes don't do good things. You will never get evil.
Yeah,
so, something like this.
Zhukov said very correctly. At least it's quoted in him. We liberated them from the Nazis, and they will never forgive us for it.
Yeah, good. It's really good. It's really good. Yes, and we remember when our soldiers coming back, being, winners actually coming back from Berlin, they were shot on Polish territory by these bastards. They were shooting to our trains with the returning soldiers. Yes, that's how they appreciate it. Unfortunately.
Yep.
No, it's.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt. Our time is almost up for this episode. We will have you back because I think this was a very good conversation and very interesting.
My pleasure, Stas, anytime.
And it's good for other people to hear your view on the U.S. and places like that. Not just my view or some like that, but also someone from Russia seeing the U.S. But what used to be the U.S. anyways.
Yes, and I challenge guys who think that we kind of almost absorb into anti